Ma'am, please begin.
Okay, sir. Hello, good morning everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar. Today, Applied Sciences and Humanities Department of Parul Polytechnic Institute have scheduled webinar on successful entrepreneurship and leadership in 7 steps. I, Vaishali Nathwani, would like to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Joyce Z. Wazirali. She is a multi-award winning author, leader, and doctor in entrepreneurship. She is the founder, CEO, and author of Unity Conscious Leadership Academy. As a coach, mentor, speaker, and facilitator, she offers guidance, leadership courses for individuals and leaders, speaks about entrepreneurship, leadership, and cultural change. Her mission is to contribute to healthy relationships and societies, absolute happiness and peace. For over 3 decades, she has successfully guiding more than 1,000 individuals and CEOs and was during 6 years chair of the audit committee on the supervisory board for 600 general practitioners. In her recently published book, Unity Conscious Leadership, she reveals the secret of successful leadership and cultural change. As a practitioner of many years standing, she reveals the secrets of the complex dynamic of relationships and cultural issues. By using various disciplines and illustrating the theories with practical examples from her work, she shows how individuals and companies can use crisis and obstructive situations to break through patterns, translate differences, and unlock potential in order to grow and thrive again. It's a pleasure to welcome you here, ma'am, on this platform.
Thank you, Mrs. Faisal. Thank you so much for having me. And it's a great honor to do my presentation here. So,
yes, ma'am, you can start with the session.
Okay, so welcome to everyone to this webinar, Successful Entrepreneurship and Leadership in 7 Steps. I would say, please take a seat, make it comfortable for yourself. And please take notes because I have a lot of important things to tell today. And again, welcome to this webinar. And entrepreneurship, as an entrepreneur, you have to take many activities into account, such as finance, ICT, HR, your clients, marketing, sales, leaderships, etc. It's very complex and it requires many talents. So how do you take all activities into account to be successful? I will explain it in an easy way you will never forget. I will share a blueprint for successful entrepreneurship and leadership with you. So the program is as follows. In short, a short introduction. I will share the success formula of Unity Conscious Leadership. I will share the blueprint with you, do a small exercise, explain the 7 steps, and then end with another small exercise for yourself, and then Q&A, and then we finish the presentation. So, when I was 23, I started as an entrepreneur and leader. And now I'm 58. So it's been 35 years ago. I started my first business. And this business grew within 13 years to a business with 80 staff members. We started with 2 founders, co-founders. And the success story is how we perceive our environment and our life and a business. And that's what I'm going to share with you. This is our building, one of the buildings we had for the business. And the name was the Plaza Group. It was a business in business services, so for entrepreneurs. I wrote the success formula in my book, just as announced in Unity Conscious Leadership. It's available, so you can order if you want to know more about it, because this is just an introduction, but it is very valuable today. So, and I take a palace as a blueprint. A building is a very beautiful blueprint to work with if you want to take your entrepreneurship and leadership. And I will explain it in 7 steps with you, because being an entrepreneur is very complex, and it's easier when you understand it on an easy way and can remember it, can research and grow your business on an easy way. So I would like to ask you first, imagine your own company as a palace of prosperity. And maybe you are planning to build up your company to start as an entrepreneur, or you are already an entrepreneur and you have staff members working for you. It doesn't matter where you start and where you are at this moment. I want to do an imagination with you. So please imagine your company as a palace of prosperity as it is right now. And please write down a few words for yourself. So I will ask a few questions and you can write answers for yourselves. So if you look at your palace, what do you see happening? What are you doing? And if you have staff members, what are they doing? What are your clients doing? And your suppliers? How do you all behave? And what makes your company a palace of prosperity? How is the mood? And what do you think and feel? Do you see doors and windows? Are they open or closed? And how does the environment look like when you look through the windows? Please write it down for yourself. If I go back to the Taj Mahal, it's a beautiful palace and it has a story. The person who put this building had a goal with this. And the building is so attractive that people from all over the world come to be there. And it's not only the building, it's also the environment. And that is very important for you to build up your own company as an entrepreneur and a leader. So I will explain the 7 parts of the palace. These are the 7 steps. So I start with a fundament, then the pillars, load-bearing walls, doors and windows, floors, the cement between the stones, very important, and the maintenance of the palace of your own enterprise. So let's start building up your palace. The first step is the fundament. The fundament is an idea. It's always everything starts with an idea to contribute to society, something that is very needed. And we all start with a vision and mission. I will go on this later. So from the vision and mission, you get your goals to realize your products and your services. And from those goals, you abstract the strategies and your business plan. And when you have staff members, please involve them in this process, because it's very important that they are involved. When they are involved, they know in which direction you want to go with the business. And when they decide to do it together, then they will be convinced to make this company a success. So you don't stand alone with your company. You have already ambassadors. So for example, my own mission and vision. A mission is about your big why. Why are you an entrepreneur? Why are you offering your services and products? And it is in the here and now, and something that makes you unique. So my mission is we offer guidance and leadership courses for people and organizations to break old habits and patterns, unlock potential, and thrive again with a lens of unity-conscious leadership. A new paradigm of leadership to transcend duality, which is the root cause of adversity, crisis, and polarization, and grow to unity and dynamic peace. So what you see here is what makes unique in my mission is the lens of unity-conscious leadership. And everyone has something unique to add to their own mission. And it's very important to find it out what makes you unique and put it in your mission. And the vision is, how you contribute to change, to the change of society in the future. So it's a greater goal, but you do it together with more people. So my vision is to plant seeds for healthy relationships and society, absolute happiness and peace with a lens of unity-conscious leadership. And writing your vision and mission takes time. It doesn't happen in 5 minutes. Sometimes you need a few days or a few weeks or months, and then you know, okay, this is what I'm going to do. For example, when you want to start your business as a dentist or a psychologist, most people think, okay, we are dentists, we do the same, or I'm psychologist, I do the same as my colleague, but that's not true. Find out what makes you unique and point it out in your vision and mission, because you will attract those people, those clients who are willing to come to you because of that, what makes you unique. So good luck with that. It's a very nice process to do that. So what happens when the foundation, the fundament or the foundation for success is not laid very well? This is what happens. It will not stand straight, but someday fall apart. So that's not what we want to do. The second step is the pillars. The pillars, they represent the people from the start. When you start the business starts with founders or one founder. This one of the pillars, the very first staff, clients, suppliers. It's important to appreciate them and communicate with them and listen to them, because they are very important for the company, for your enterprise, and they are your ambassadors. So please involve them. And for example, when you are the founder and you are bored with your company, what happens is that a pillar is not standing well, and what happens that your company will fall apart. So it's important as a founder that you have to keep on going with your vision and mission and be an example for everyone. So the third step is the load-bearing walls. So this represents everyone who have contributed to this building, to this company, and everybody who has contributed ideas and plans for the growth and the benefit of the company. These people are also your ambassadors. So it's including your staff, clients, and suppliers. And it's important to reward them, because sometimes people can have a great idea and they see that the company is doing well because of that idea. But if you don't reward them, they stop to think or to bring in new ideas, because they have given a lot, but they didn't receive anything from it. So it's important, even if it is a small reward, it's so important to reward them. So the fourth is said are the doors and the windows. And the doors are, the first door is the entrance where people come in, and inside the building there are more doors and there are windows. So I start with the doors. The doors are the connections between the departments I told you about: finance, back office, front office, HR, marketing, sales, etc. All those departments are in your building, and it's important that the doors are open, because the positive thing is that there is communication between the departments. If the doors are closed, or some doors are closed, then there is no communication, and it's not in the benefit of the company. So it's important to keep the doors open, to communicate, and then you will reduce errors, because that's very important. So the windows, they connect with the surrounding. So if you look through the windows, you can see how the surrounding look like. You can see the garden, your own environment, but you can also see what's happening in your environment behind your garden. So if changes are happening in your profession, and you see that, you can see it through the window, then you can take action to change things to keep attracting your clients, or give your service to your clients. So to be successful, it's important to anticipate on changes you are aware of, or other needs of staff, clients, and suppliers. Sometimes people are complaining, but listen to why they are complaining. And the answer, the question behind the complaining is, what do you need? If you ask that, then you know what is needed to fulfill their needs. So, for example, I live in the Netherlands, and I went to New Zealand, and everywhere in the world, if you go to a restaurant, they have not so many staff anymore. I don't know why they disappeared, but people want to go to a restaurant to have dinner and have fun. And so what I noticed is that some restaurant owners, they bought a robot who can carry the dishes to the table and go back to the kitchen, because there is a shortage of staff. So if you know how you can solve it, then you can keep your restaurant open, and you still can go on with your business. So this is a small example, but you know, in ICT, there is a lot happening with AI, and there will come more new opportunities. So keep your eyes and ears open for this. The floors, that's the fifth. So the floors are the building blocks of the departments. And the departments are all on several floors, and it's important that they are very well organized and functioning well. Because the steadier the bottom floor is, the better the floor above can be supported. And the bottom floor, the very bottom floor, is your vision and mission. the better you know what your vision and mission is and communicate with your staff, with your clients about your vision and mission, the sturdier the bottom floor will be, and the better your building will be seen and be attractive for your clients. So there are more departments that are on the bottom floor, and that is, besides of your vision and mission, the back office, finance and ICT. Sometimes people think, well, I want to do only what I like to do, my passion as a dentist or psychologist, and finance. I don't like finance. Please hire someone to do that, because all the activities are all important. So that's very important to take a note on that. Then we go to the 6th, and that is the cement between the stones. And I have 4 things to mention if you talk about the cement between the stones. First, it is about relationships and behavior between the people. So if you see, if you want to keep the stones together, you need the cement. So they are very important. And the second is leadership development. And third is culture. And the fourth is the talents. So I will explain it. So if it comes to relationship and behavior of people, this is a very crucial part of the business. It's complex and difficult to grasp, but yet tangible. So if things get out of hand, mostly it is very difficult to change. And it is a danger for the continuity of your business if the people are not well related to each other. So that's why you have put your attention to that as well. So if you look at the relationship between people, then you can see patterns of behavior, and people get triggered by other people or situations. It can be on a working place or somewhere else, but the reactions they occur repeatedly. People meet other people and they get some feelings that they recognize not only on the working place, but also in a private situation or with friends. And these patterns are of associated feelings are in their life. So examples of those feelings are feelings of abundance, or feeling unheard, unseen, or very irresponsible, want to take care of everyone, feel very responsible for the health and the wealth of other people, but forgetting themselves. And fear is also an example. These are patterns that occur in their lives every time. So if you look at the behavior of people, then you can recognize paradoxes. What are paradoxes? These are patterns with contradictory dynamics. So examples are inclusion and exclusion. It can be that someone feels that he or she feels excluded, don't belong to the group. This is the group with all the colors, and someone doesn't feel included but excluded, then you get this dynamic. Or trust and distrust, division and togetherness, we or them, victim, predators. And these patterns arise from traumatic past events. It can be in a personal life, but also in a company itself. So this you can solve with system dynamic constellations. And that is what I also offer. So if you solve that trauma in the past, then you can unlock the potential and thrive again with your company. So most companies, most leaders are leading from the perspective of separateness. And separateness means that they feel separate from their environment. They are looking through the lens of dualism and speaking in a language of opposites, such as good and bad. So they are judging black and white, us and them, inclusion and exclusion, powerful and powerless. And the root cause of this dualism is the root cause of patterns and paradoxes, and it's the source of conflicts and crises. So what happens, what is the effect of leadership from separateness? This is what happens. The building becomes a wreck. And that is not what you want to do with your business. So the success formula is to transcend separateness and grow to unity. So this is a quote from Albert Einstein: "No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it." It's one sentence with a deep meaning, and we can only change by changing our perspective on life. Instead of looking at life from separateness, looking at life in accordance to the coherence of life. So you cannot change the behavior of other people. You can only change the way you handle situations and view your world. So the solution is in yourself. Okay, the next one is leadership development. And leadership development from the lens of unity consciousness is a new paradigm of leadership. That was one of the success formulas as well of our business. And what you do with this leadership of unity consciousness is you can sustainably break old habits and patterns. You can transcend mutual differences, unlock potential, and thrive again. If you know how to do it, you can do it yourself. I can teach you that if you like to. So what happens when you take your leadership from unity consciousness? Then you get a beautiful palace where everyone is a leader. Everyone in the company is a leader. And leadership means they take their own responsibility. If people take their own responsibility, then the business is growing well, and everyone is equally important and unique. It doesn't matter what people do, they are important, because when they don't do their job, then you will know what you miss. Every stone in a building is important. If you miss stones in a building, then other things will happen. With unity conscious leadership, everyone has unique talents, qualities, and life mission. And it's important to take action and to let the people use their talents and their qualities, because we live in reality, in a oneness, in unity. And if we take leadership from the perspective of unity consciousness, then you will become very successful. My example is the Plaza Group. And in my book, I tell you more stories about other clients, how they became successful. So this is the point that you have to take in account to make your business successful. And what is unity conscious leadership? I will share 3 basic principles of unity conscious leadership. And the first is that we are all visibly and invisibly interconnected, interdependent, and influencing each other. So, for example, with our thoughts, or what we say or write down, or our actions, we are all interconnected. It doesn't have to be visible, but how can it become visible? For example, when clients, they don't come to their appointment with you. They say, "Oh, I don't feel well. I don't come today," and then you have to ask yourself, what are my thoughts? If you are not interested to work on that day, then you will see that the clients will cancel their appointments. Or so it is important to look inside yourself to make the change outside. And that's the second principle. Our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So start to do self-reflection. That's very important. How can I contribute to make this better for myself and for everyone? And sometimes you have to dig deeper, and sometimes it is on the shallow. So it's a beautiful journey, and miracles happen when you start with self-reflection and find the answers in yourselves, because that's the third principle. All solutions and answers are already in ourselves. So the next one are the talents. Our talents are our innate potential. They color to who we are. They are the building blocks of our mission. And if they are used in a company, what happens? The people, the staff, do things easier. They feel happy and successful. And the talents of people are also the working capital. It is the potential. The more you invest in finding out what the talents of the people are, the more working capital you have to put up your business. So you become more successful. And that's what we did with our company and what I teach my clients. For example, when people are working on the department ICT, mostly people think, oh, they are only thinking that way with computers. But I know people who does ICT work very well, but they are also involved with people, and they know a lot about relationships, and they see many things in the business. But if you don't involve them, they won't tell you. So it's important to find out that people have more than one talent, and let them use their talents in your company. And talents are like, there are archetypes. I have a few examples here. Shepherds. A shepherd is someone who is leading and taking the flock to where there is grass to eat. A treasurer is someone who can find it, who keeps the treasure safe. So it can be someone who you can tell everything, and they won't tell anything to anyone else. So you have many talents. It's not only one, it's not only two, it is more than that. So it's very important to investigate that part of the company. Then it comes to the maintenance of the palace. So normally when we have a car, we go to the garage once in a while, and to check the condition of your car and maybe repair some things. And mostly people forget to do that with their own business. And this is very important. If you can check your own business, your palace, once in a while, then you can make plans to control the parts of the palace and take action, because then you will discover that something is not working well anymore and there has to be a change. For example, maybe on a department finance, you are working with a certain software and it takes a lot of time, and people have developed new software that works very fast. So then you can invest in new software, and then it will save a lot of time for that department, and the people can do more things in within the same time. So now, example for plans, I would say what I did in the Plaza group. They said I was the one who put the cement between the stones, and I kept the cement between the stones. And what I did was I paid daily attention to the relationship and the behavior of people and my own leadership. I did self-reflection every day, every moment. When I realized, something is not going well, what's happening, then I started with self-reflection, and I always found the answers in myself. And sometimes I had to talk with someone, and sometimes I had to work on myself as a leader. And what you create is new leaders who can take their own responsibility because you are an example for them. And I paid attention to the culture in the company. But that is because I look through another lens of unity consciousness. And it's something, a gift from me, that I could see what is happening in the culture, in the company, and I could take action. It's very difficult to perceive or be aware of it. And so my advice is keep investing in personal development, not only for yourself as a leader, but also for your staff. Trauma healing and uncover hidden potential. Okay, now I have explained the 7 parts of the palace in the 7 steps. So it consists of the fundaments, the pillars, load-bearing walls, doors and windows, floors, the cement between the stones, and very important, the maintenance of the palace. And what I would like to ask you, after hearing those 7 steps, I would like to ask you to imagine again your company as a palace of prosperity. And imagine your company in the near future. After hearing my story, what are the changes you will see? Or what are the changes you want to make? So if you have made those changes, what do you see happening? Maybe you had the doors closed or curtains in front of the windows. You couldn't look outside. So maybe hearing this story, you want to change some things or open the front door. So my question is, if you look at your palace in the future, what do you see happening? What is the change? And please write down a few words for yourself. What are you doing? What do your employees, customers, and suppliers do? How do you all behave? What makes your company a palace of prosperity? What is so unique? How is the mood? What do you think and feel? Do you see doors and windows? Are they open or closed? How does the environment look like when you look through the window? What do you see? Compare the differences with your first imagination. Write down the differences or changes for yourself. And write down what actions will you take to implement the changes for yourself, your company. Okay. Thank you. So this is my slogan, my quotes. We are not in an era of change. We are the creators standing at the threshold of a new era of healthy relationships and societies, absolute happiness and peace. If you want to connect with me, you can connect by website, email, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, so social media. And I offer online and face-to-face guidance and courses in Dutch and English for individuals and business leaders. You are welcome to, if you need guidance or advice, send me an email. Do you want a free chapter of my book? Send me an email. Order my book on a online bookshop. Follow me on social media or receive monthly newsletters. So you can connect with me in many ways. Okay, thank you. So we are now almost at the end of the presentation, and this is a place for questions and answers. Are there any questions I can answer?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this beautiful presentation. There is one question from our end, ma'am.
Yes.
How can we deal with fear and doubt or confidence during entrepreneurship?
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yes. How can we deal with fear, madam, and confidence if we yes, during entrepreneurship?
Yes. If you are aware of what your fear is, you have to find out where it comes from. And when you find out where the fear comes from, you can transform it and put it into confidence, because that's very important. Fear is very dangerous as an entrepreneur. You have to be confident. So find out where the fear comes from. And my experience is that it is mostly something that you have experienced in your childhood. For example, people can be afraid to show themselves, to be open or to communicate about certain things. And maybe they had experience when they were a child that they had to shut their mouth. This is just an example, but you have to find out where it comes from and transform it with personal development. That's why personal development is very important. And if you need help, I can guide you. And only in 1 or 2 sessions, we can break that pattern. Okay?
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
clear?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
You said it true that sometimes it happens that the fear starts from childhood itself, right?
Yeah.
So that was the main question, that sometimes we get fear from our parents only, that we don't want to start entrepreneurship or move on to another path, right? So how
Yes.
can we deal with that? That was the question.
Yes. How can you deal with it? You are now your own leader, and most people are conditioned by their past, so by what they heard from their parents. But you can take your own leadership. Stop that voice of your parents and follow your heart. Or you have to work on that part of trauma you inherited or get from the experience at home. So you need help from a professional to solve this on a very deep level, and I can offer that.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So we can end this session here, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time. And yes. And also thanks for accepting our invitation for conducting this webinar.
Yes, thank you for
Yes.
the invitation and having me. And I want to thank Mr.Hemal Patel, you, Mrs. Nathwani, your team of Parul University, and all the participants of this webinar. Thank you so much, because we are interdependent, and without you, I had no opportunity to give a webinar here. So
yes,
thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. So are you still here?
Yes, ma'am, you can leave the session.
Hmm?
You can leave the session, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Did you
yes.
like it?
Yes, ma'am. It was wonderful talking with you, and the presentation would surely help our students as well as faculties.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes. Okay, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.